Hello again and welcome back to this lesson on subject-specific vocabulary. Let's start by taking a look at what the examiners want to see in our essays. To get a band 7, they want to see that we can use vocabulary with some flexibility and precision. They want to see that we can use less common words, and they want to see that we can use words that naturally fit together. That is known as collocation. We're going to look at those three things now in these slides. The one thing that will help you achieve those three things that the examiners want to see is avoiding general language. Now let's take a look at an example to see exactly what I mean. Here is a sentence from a body paragraph and it reads, "Hospitals, most people believe, provide a fantastic service to the general public due to the training of their staff, their highly developed facilities and the specialist systems in place." Now there's nothing wrong with the grammar or the vocabulary in this sentence. However, if we change the word hospitals, which is the subject of the sentence, to the word libraries, so we completely change what we're talking about from hospitals to libraries, the sentence actually still makes sense. It now reads, "Libraries, most people believe, provide a fantastic service to the general public due to the training of the staff, their highly developed facilities and the specialist systems in place." Now, it's quite strange that you can change the subject of the sentence and for it to still make sense. And that is because the language used is too general. You could even change libraries to dentists, schools, or universities, and it would still make sense. This is what we need to avoid doing. We need to make our language much more specific. That is what we need to do if we're going to get a band 7 or higher for our vocabulary. Instead, what you need to do is to try and use language that is specific to each different topic. Let's have a look how we could change this sentence and make it specific towards hospitals. So instead of the first sentence, you could change it to "Hospitals, most people believe, provide fantastic healthcare to the general public due to the training of their medical practitioners, their highly developed medical equipment and the specialist systems in place." As you can see there, we've used much more specialist phrases, and all of them are actually two-word phrases, which are collocations. They're words that naturally go together. If you are able to use these types of words and phrases, you're showing that you have a good grasp of the language and that you can use it the way native speakers do. For libraries, we might change it to, "Libraries, most people believe, provide fantastic sources of information to the general public due to the training of their librarians, their highly developed collections of literary documents and the specialist systems in place." Once again, we've used vocabulary specific to libraries. Librarians being the people that work there, literary documents being a much less common vocabulary, and sources of information being specific to libraries as well. And for the dentists, most people believe, provide fantastic oral health services to the general public due to the training of their dental surgeons, dental hygienists and nurses, their highly developed clinics and the specialist systems in place. once again, we've taken the opportunity to show off specific vocabulary related to dentists. And here's a nice simple one. Schools, most people believe, provide a fantastic education to the general public due to the training of their teachers, their highly developed learning environments, and the specialist systems in place. And the last example, universities, most people believe, provide fantastic undergraduate and postgraduate courses to the general public due to the training of their professors, their highly developed research and lecturing facilities, and the specialist systems in place. And finally, let's just have a look at the band descriptors again for vocabulary at a band 7. And I hope you can see now that by using more specific language that's related to the topic that you're talking about, this helps you to use precise vocabulary, to use words that are less common, and you'll often be using phrases with words that naturally fit together, which is your collocations. So just by doing this one thing, trying to avoid general language and write specifically to the topic that you're engaged with, that you can hit the band 7 or higher for your vocabulary and lexical resource. Now, the one final thing to mention is that it is okay to make occasional errors, as you can see there. So don't panic if you're not 100% sure about the word you are writing, but it is important that 90% or more of the time you are sure about the words that you are using, because the word occasional means exactly that. Occasionally you can make an error with perhaps the choice of your word or the spelling or the word formation. Is it adverb, noun, verb, or so on? But 90% of the time you need to be sure about what you're writing. So don't just try to use lots of different fancy words just to try and show off. Use words that you're confident with and that you know how to use. Then it's just a question of increasing your vocabulary if you're not quite getting the band 7 that you need. Now that concludes this video. We're going to be continuing looking at vocabulary and collocations in the following videos, so I look forward to seeing you there.